trouble, ignoring some close advisors and insulting some of the nation's war heroes.
A radical left person wants to put price controls all over the place, which will end up driving up your prices.
In two events this week, both supposedly on the economy, Donald Trump couldn't stay on message.
She wants to change a free enterprise type country into a communist type country. That's what she knows.
Drawing from his playbook of personal attacks, which even some of his most loyal supporters are now criticizing in public.
When Trump attacks Harris personally rather than on policy, Harris's support among swing voters rises.
The winning formula for President Trump is very plain to see. It's fewer insults, more insights, and that policy contrast.
But Trump isn't listening.
I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence.
And Trump once again insulted a key group of voters, veterans.
It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor.
While talking about giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom to a billionaire supporter, Trump, who reportedly has called soldiers who die for their country suckers and losers, diminished the nation's top military honor.
Everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead.
Kristen, when it comes to the advice we heard from Peter Navarro and Kellyanne Conway, don't make it personal, make it about policy. Will Trump ever listen to...
Sorry,
I don't even have to finish.
You don't even have to finish. We have seen so many rounds of, oh my goodness, is this going to be the time that Kellyanne finally takes the phone from Trump so that he stops tweeting or what have you? The idea that he can be contained, I feel like we've just got to get over the idea that this will ever happen. He's like Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk. Like, you can keep the normalcy going for so long. And he did, frankly. He kind of held it together through the Republican primary, through the Republican convention. And it's about 30 minutes into that speech at the Republican convention that Bruce Banner starts turning into the Hulk. And that's who we've got. He is in full Hulk mode. Good luck to anybody trying to put him back in.
Well, and speaking of Hulk mode, Lulu, Trump has never been, I think we'd all agree, a disciplined campaigner. But it seems since Biden dropped out, Harris came in, and this huge lead has just disappeared. Trump seems like he's really been knocked off kilter.
He's been knocked off kilter. He is clearly upset. He keeps talking about the same things over and over again. He's obsessed with Biden. He brings up Biden every opportunity that he can. It's kind of touching in a way. It's like The Odd Couple. Mm-hmm. It's this kind of relationship that he misses him. There's some definite tenderness there, I think. But he doesn't know what to do. And I would also say, and in this I do think that the shakeup within the Trump campaign that we've recently seen with Corey Lewandowski coming back, I think we're going to see a push to let Trump be Trump, right? Which is the whole idea that this is someone who cannot be corralled. And he has expanded the Republican Party. He has brought more people into the party. He has fundamentally changed it. And he's done that by being himself. And so I think what people are going to come to is that this is the man who won in 2016, who has managed to keep the party in his grip all this time. Let him do what he does and let the chips fall where they may.
And I think what he does, though, is starting to get boring. Like, I'm looking at the meme that came out, the racist meme that he tweeted. And yes, there was some level of outrage, but I think there was also eye rolling. It's like we've seen this show before. You're appealing to the most base instincts of voters. And I think people are kind of over it. Today, in her speech, Harris pointed out, she said, he gives this talk about the economy, but the actual policy plans were really light. And so she's reversing the critique that Trump gave of her, that she had no policy. And now she's saying, where are the details besides the rage, besides the fear mongering? And I think that, she's exposing a weakness.
I want to pick up on that, Kristen, because whatever you want to say about Trump, he really he's been entertaining in a kind of demented way. And as I watched his presser at Bedminster on Thursday, I thought, what a bore. what a bore this man has become.
Well, and part of his appeal all along, or part of his political power, has been that he understands the medium of television very well. And you saw flickers of that, right? He had all of the products there lined up at that Bedminster press conference. Like, he understands entertainment, he understands television, but he can't control himself. And that's where he's getting into trouble. And so I frankly want to put this on a poll. I want to know, if you ask voters, who would you rather spend 10 minutes watching, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? I actually think that if you had asked that question 6 months ago, Donald Trump wins that in a landslide. Doesn't mean people would vote for him, but he would win that question. I wonder what people would say today if I asked.
Because, God forbid,
Well,
first of all, it wouldn't be 10
like,
minutes.
Okay, I've seen this show
It would be an
before.
hour of droning on and on
I
and
tell you,
on.
the Trump that they don't like, though, is the one that was reading in that huge binder that looked like my sixth grader giving a book report. I mean, that's not a Trump that is going to sell anything.
Well, in fact, I thought to myself, talk about political malpractice. Who gave this man that binder? Because, I mean, it just had page after page, and he kept reading. I want to go to this other utterly gratuitous slam at the Congressional Medal of Honor winners, Jim. Why would he keep insulting vets?
I suspect that every Trump campaign advisor is asking that same question. Why? Whose idea was it that you want to compare the Medal of Honor and the Medal of Freedom, and which one is better?
I mean, the Medal of Freedom, I mean, there are a lot of great people who get it, but also billionaire donors get it, like Miriam Adelson.
Look, Frank Luntz. Frank, when it comes to the economic plans, we heard the vice president lay out part of her economic agenda today. Donald Trump, at his news conference yesterday, tried to get ahead and cast her as a communist. Take a listen.